Morning guys, Moon here. Today I want to give you a first look at my power charge stacking Reap Inquisitor. And yeah, before we take a look at the jar and the gear, I just wanted to finish my Uber Shaper here, so you have so you're getting an idea of how the character looks by clearing like some random mobs and taking down one of the bigger bosses. This character overall is not exactly a very tanky character. We are just a glass cannon taking down bosses faster than they attack us. So yeah, this is pretty much what you can expect from this character without going into more detail. But yeah, let me just quickly finish this and then we take a look at what I'm doing exactly. The char overall is not finished. What gearing is up to, I still need some gear, but overall the gear is pretty good already. More or less just talking about like fine-tuning, but let me quickly concentrate here. We're tracking with the Zealotry how long he takes, because at about 8 seconds he will start casting, so I can time my buffs. Okay, so this was the Uber Shaper, monster level 85. We've done Orb of Dominance, which is nice, haven't got those yet. And some gloves for corrupting. So as you can see, the damage already is pretty damn good, and I did already invest into the character quite a bit. So, as an example, I do use a Watcher's Eye with Hatred Crit and damage taken from mana, and I use the Forbidden Flame and Flash from my other character, so I had those already. And what else are we using? Megalomaniac. We're using the Balance of Terror. Those are not like all that expensive, but yeah. Let's take a look at the character overall. We are going to some area where I can show stuff. I'm just taking here Blood Aqueduct, doesn't really matter. The character is a Reap Inquisitor. That means we are casting Reap just somewhere, and the blades are just destroying everything. The damage is pretty absurd, as you did see, and the clear is more or less pretty good. But you need to invest quite a bit into a clear so that you have like the movement speed for the shield charge, and you need the damage to like clear enemies before they hit you, because as you can see, we only have 1.7k life and 1.7k energy shield lying over the mana with Mind over Matter and Eldritch Battery. Let me quickly, where's this option? Preservation. So you can see, so we're reserving about 50% here and pretty much all of our mana. We have more or less the same amount of life and energy shield, which is fine because we have nearly 50% Mind over Matter. And yeah, we are flame dashing, we're using Divine Zealotry, we use Elemental Weakness. We don't actually use this on enemies. We just use this to activate the Balance of Terror, physical as a random element, which is a huge DPS boost. So you just press this before boss and you gain it for 10 seconds. So you can use Zealotry and this and see, okay, about half of the Zealotry duration you have the Fizz as extra elemental. This is a pretty good timer. For the flask we use Bottled Faith. We use the Taste of Fate for more damage. Then we use the Rot Gut for over 30 seconds onslaught, which just helps with the onslaught movement speed quite a bit, so we can just be faster. Oh, nice. So, but what exactly is the character about? What is the crux of the character? So, we are Frenzy, Power, and Brutal Charge stacking. So, we have 6 Brutal Charges through the Arm's Anguish and 1+1 Endurance Charge node. And we have 11 Power and 11 Frenzy Charges. On a budget, this character has 9 Frenzy and Power Charges, because you would drop the Forbidden Flame and the +1 Power Charge helmet. And yeah, overall this character works because we are using the Ralakash's Impatience. These say that Endurance, in our case Brutal Charges, those are like synonym for effects like this. Frenzy and Power Charges, minimum equals to maximum while we're stationary. So whenever we are attacking, we are stationary, so we have all our charges. If we move, we don't. Like, we have just a few, but if we're stationary, we have a lot of damage. You can see when I'm moving, I have 700k DPS, when I'm standing 3.5 million. So these boots like enable the build more or less with the stacking. Then we have gloves with physical to cult conversion, 60%, and use 1 mastery for the final 40%, so we reach 100% cult conversion here. We use a void battery and the Malachite's loop for more power charges. The Malachite's loop shocks us whenever we reach maximum power charges, which means that we run Tempest Shield to avoid shock. So the Malachite's loop just gives us +2 power charges and 16% spell damage per power charge, which is pretty huge as well. And then we use the Badge of the Brotherhood to make our frenzy charges equal to our power charges, which means we have 11 frenzy charges, which is a shit ton of damage. Then we have rings with cast speed, crit multi, and some resistances and life. The same on the other side. These will later be +1 power charges, so the final version of the build would have 13 power charges through the rings, and if you get a helmet with +2 power charges, +1 through the helmet and +1 through corruption, you will be at 14 power charges and 14 frenzy charges, which is a lot. Most likely too much, but whatever. We just like to be a Christmas tree here. It fits the theme of the time, so I guess, yeah. This more or less is the gear of the character. We have a weapon swap with the same gear with the Zealotry, but we have a faster attack, shield charge enhanced set up here, and Purifying Flame, Punishment, Arcanist Brand set up here, just to like deal more damage. Yeah, let's take a look at the passive tree. We are starting at the Inquisitor, traveling for power charges, and taking some crit nodes over here, and pretty much that's here we have some more. No, here we have more crit. We don't take these because they aren't really all that great, and we don't have the points currently. We run the mentioned unique jewels. We run 1 Militant Faith here, which I currently still have to upgrade, and it converts Inner Conviction into more spell damage per power charge. I later on want to have this one here. Swap the node, watches I somewhere else, but currently I don't have enough strength for this, so I want a second cluster jewel set up here to take out this and then just anoint the power charge here instead of like Discipline of Slaughter, which we do have currently. It is a lot of damage, but not as good as like the cluster jewel with power charge anoint setup. But yeah, we have a physical cluster jewel here with battle hardened, iron breaker, and force multiplier, which is pretty much the best in slot. And then we have some attack and cast speed here as well. We've got a medium cluster jewel with towering threat, which is maximum life and area damage, and vast power, which is area damage and 3% area of effect per power charge. So this one gives 33% area of effect currently, which is just pretty huge. And yeah, the other conviction. Then we've got a Megalomaniac with Wish for Death for Culling Strike, First Assault for attack and cast speed and physical damage, and then Veteran Defender, which just gives us all attributes, elemental resistances, and some more energy shield. I want a second Veteran Defender most likely for the all attributes, so I can take out the like strength here, so we don't need as much, because if I take over the Militant Faith over here, we are missing 12 strengths for our Petrified Blood. And I wanted to be level 21 later on as well, so we need even more strength. We need 15 strength, and 15 strength is exactly what we're getting from Veteran Defender. So, well, that's pretty good. But yeah, let's get it over here again. Yeah, we are running Pain Attunement because we always are low life. I do not have Mind of Matter here because I put it on my Sanctified Relic. I'm using a Cold Leech Sanctified Relic, which gives me Overleech due to the Petrified Blood mechanic, because we cannot leech over half of our energy, over half of our life, but all those mechanics are pretty known, so I just turn the Overleech. If we're getting hit here, we're just leeching against it all the time. We also do have about 560 life regeneration and energy shield regeneration, which is up at all times. So yeah, as I said, the character is not exceptionally defensive, like defensively. You can take some hits, but you really don't want to. If you have any questions about this character or anything else, I don't know, feel free to drop them in the comments or somewhere else where I can read them. Feel free to drop into the stream. If you want to follow how the character is evolving over the next days, I currently sit at like 150 million Shaper DPS or something like that. I want to reach like 300 million on this character because before I move on, most likely. So yeah, if you want to see how this character evolves, feel free to subscribe and take a look at the upcoming videos, which will most likely be Sanctum runs and boss kills. I still want to make a full Sanctum run, but I haven't really put the time into, so I still have to do that. But yeah, I don't want to talk meaningless here, so let's see you at the next video, and have a good night and great Christmas if you're not watching the video in like a month. So yeah, see you.